I'm calling this meeting to order. Welcome to the Sedro Woolley Rotary Club, the best Rotary Club in the universe. Today's invocation will be with the one, the only Lynn Tucker.
I've got five brothers, so it's not one and only, but um, let's see. We stay focused on our objectives, providing service to others, promoting integrity, and advancing world understanding, goodwill, and peace through our fellowship of business, professional, and community leaders. Let's reaffirm our commitment to the Rotary four-way test and a high ethics in all we do. Let us be optimistic, energized, and committed to service. And let's keep those folks that are out there in harm's way and are going through a tough time in our thoughts. Amen, I guess.
All right, join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And please join me in the four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And today's song, again, thank you for saving us every week when people don't show up.
Dad, give me some fair warning.
Chris Rothenbuehler.
All right. Let's do America the Beautiful. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Thanks, Chris. And you may be seated. She did nail it. All right. Do we have any visiting Rotarians this week? I don't see any, but I didn't have my glasses on there for a second. Nope. Do we have any guest of Rotarians? All right, then let's move on to club business. There's just a couple of things I have. Just a reminder again that there's no meeting next Thursday and that we'll be handing out candy as a club at Hammer Heritage Square after the parade. Be there by 4 o'clock to hand out candy. If you can be there a little bit early, please do. The parade is supposed to start at 4:30. But traffic, the parking on Metcalf is rather limited, so it's good to get there early. Rick Lemley is going to bring the folding table and then the rotary wheels, and Christina collected a bunch of candy today, so thank you to everyone who brought that. Very much appreciate that. And you can either wear a Rotary sweatshirt or other swag if you'd like, or if you're in costume, that's always fun. The little kids will love that. So feel free to wear a fun costume if you'd like. And then I also sent out an email about the Christmas party. If you haven't already, please RSVP as soon as possible so we have numbers for the caterer. And again, I said this in the email, but if anything changes and you end up not being able to go, please do let Becky or Ellen know so we can adjust those numbers, because for the installation dinner, we paid for 15 dinners or 14 dinners of people who were no shows, and that's pretty expensive to the club budget. All right, we are going to have a 3-minute talk with Christina Trader. Come on up.
First, let me say thank you for all the candy. If you still want to bring candy, you can drop it by Boys and Girls Club next to Cascade Middle School. Why I Rotary? So in 2015, I became a Rotarian the very first time, and it was because of my job. And since then, I have continued Rotarying because I love the sense of community and just the ideals of what Rotary accomplishes with a group of people. It's important to me to be involved in community and give back to my community. And while I don't live here, I think it's very important that I'm deeply ingrained as well. There's my 3-minute chat. I think I can do it in less than 3 minutes. Cool.
Okay, did anyone else have any announcements for the club? Nope. All right, then let's move on to the raffle.
Okay, we have a raffle. All right, I'm gonna pull all the balls out here at one time. Yep. You doing 3 or 4? Got them. All right, got them. All right, first number, 73. There you go. You did. You search hard for that one. Oliver Hammer. A cool surprise. All right. I'll find it for you. Next number is going to be 40. Number 40. Should have put a bunch of candy up there. All right, and you take some wine. Last number, 34. 34. And he spins. Past presidents pay $5. All right, there's our raffle.
All right. Hey, thanks, Chris. And now let's move on to Sergeant at Arms. I don't see Charlie, so I'm going to assume that Chris is prepared for this.
All right. Okay, there we go. Very good. So not as popular as opening day for baseball or the first week of the football season, but this is opening week for basketball. So I got some basketball questions for you. All basketball aficionados, I'm sure, right? So you guys are ready. Okay. Warm-up question. How far is the free throw line from the hoop? Okay. How far is the three-point line from the hoop? To the inch, if you're going to get that specific on me. That'd be really far. That's the logo. 23 feet, 9 inches. All right. $2, $2. All right, are you guys ready? You guys are ready. Okay. Okay, warm up. Here's a warm up question. What's the record for most points in a game? Okay, very good. What's the record for most points in a quarter? 45? And who was it? 37, Clay Thompson. $2. $2. Yeah, $2. All right, I'm a little nervous about this because we got the Sonic shirt on. 2 years, right? 2 years they're coming back. That's the word. All right, we're going with nicknames. You guys got nicknames. Do you want the player or do you want the nickname? Okay, here. Okay, the Diesel. That was Shaq, very good. The round mound of rebound. Charles Barkley, okay, good. No, we're gonna keep going. The Dream. The dream. Okay, moving on. I was worried about the shirt thing. The black mamba. It was Kobe. Okay, I give you. You're gonna clean gonna make a clean sweep here if you get this one. The Iceman. All right, you guys are good. Good job with the nicknames. Good job. All right. Are you guys ready? All right. Well, who was the first team to win more than 70 games in a season? Chicago Bulls. And how many games did they win? 72. All right, close. You guys were in the ballpark. $2. All right. Is this for you, Sue? Because we don't do it for, and Ruth. Okay. And, okay. All right. Okay, here you go. Who was the shortest player to ever win the slam dunk contest? Shortest player to win the slam dunk contest. Muggsy Bogues. That's a really good answer. It's wrong. It's in the right era, wrong person. No, it was Spud Webb. And he was 5'6". 5'6". Let's see. Oh, we got online. We got Aldi, the younger Eric, and Joellen. Okay, here you guys go. Basketball was invented by, well, I'll give it to you, James Naismith. In what year? What year? Do you know that one, Daryl? Do you know that one? What year was basketball invented? By James? Really close, though. We got any answers, Eric? Nothing? Okay, 1891 is the answer. 1891. All right. I think that is a clean sweep.
Happy Bucks?
Happy Bucks. Oh, are you gonna take? I got it. That's okay. Happy Bucks. Oh, over here.
I've got a happy 20. I just got back from 4 weeks in New Zealand and Australia, and mainly in Australia, and met with a lot of old friends and relatives there. But one of the highlights of going to Australia was I went to a Rotary meeting on a place called Phillip Island. And I can tell you, it's nothing like our Rotary meetings at all. So they have it at 6 o'clock in a, what would be a VFW type hall. And they don't do a prayer. They don't do a song. They don't do the four-way test. They don't do the Pledge of Allegiance, of course, because they don't show the same kind of patriotism, flag waving that America does. But the thing that kind of struck me is that they had a meeting for about 20 minutes, and then they all went to the bar and spent the rest of the evening in the bar. So there was a lot of good socialization going on. They didn't get a lot of business accomplished, but it was a great experience. Thanks.
Got a happy 20 here for the best neighbor in the universe, Lynn Tucker. He upgraded the lighting in our garage and did a fabulous job. And I owe you 2 bottles of Captain Morgan. Said, do you need Dr. Pepper too, or Diet Dr. Pepper? There it is. Yeah. So thanks, Lynn.
I have a quick happy buck. No, come over you to Keith. Actually, 2. One is one of gratitude and thanks to Phil Brockman, who did the Sergeant of Arms last week, because I was unable to attend, and I was unable to attend for the second happy part of mine, is that I was able to be at the birth of my first granddaughter, Mia James. So that was pretty cool.
Here's a happy 5. I just got back from my 40th reunion at the Naval Academy. Saw people I hadn't seen for, well, 40 years. It was pretty amazing. The weather was beautiful, but I am glad to be home again. I got a happy couple bucks. I was in training yesterday in Wenatchee at the conference center. And I am so glad I am done with school because I have fallen asleep in that boring crap. Oh, God. I had 6 sessions and 3 were good and 3 were so bad it was just like, ugh. So I'm glad to be done.
I got a happy 5 because I'm still here. I did some electrical work in my house and changed a chandelier from the 20s. And I didn't shock myself. And it worked. So if anybody wants an antique brass crystal, beautiful, not that beautiful chandelier, I have that available. I could probably shine it up a little bit.
All right, I think it's time for early leavers. If you need to leave, this is your cue. And at this time, I'd like to invite our program up. We have Matt and Alyssa from Wake for Warriors.
Thank you. Got microphone. What's it? You can stand there if you want. Good afternoon. How is everybody? My name is Matthew Hannon. This is Alyssa. We are with Wake for Warriors, which is a veterans 501(c). We were founded back in 2012 by combat veterans from the global war on terror. And we're here today to kind of talk about our organization and hopefully get the word out. I heard somebody talk about Naval Academy grad. So the biggest thing is to get into communities and get those veterans that are in the weeds that need to come out, okay? And hopefully find community again and get connected, which seems to be something the Rotary Club's about, right? So we got some photos and we'll go over some of the history that we kind of started. So for us, Wake for Warriors started with Dave Deep, who is a United States Marine Corps Cobra pilot. Stellar individual. He had met Tony Mullis, who's a dear friend of mine, also another Marine who is a above the knee amputee on both legs. And they were at a Marine Corps ball, which is in fact coming up here soon. If you're a Marine, happy birthday. If not, I feel bad for you. It's a super big holiday for us. So Dave and Tony, Dave went up to Tony and said, hey, I want to get you on the water and teach you how to surf. And Tony lifted up his dress blues and showed him his prosthetics and was like, I don't think that's happening. And Dave was like, no, we're going to make it happen. So Tony and Dave got on the water and they worked it all out as far as how they would get amputees up on the water and get them. And then it started working into other physical injuries. We have a gentleman, Air Force vet, Tyler Densford, who is a spinal cord injury. And we take all kinds of spinal cord, stroke patients, you name it, veterans out on the water. And in fact, we'll show you some of the pictures coming up and I'll walk you kind of through those. But Alyssa has been with the Pacific Northwest Wake for Warriors regional since 2018. So that's when they started the Wake for Warriors out here in the Pacific Northwest. And Alyssa has done an amazing job growing and help building the community that we currently have. We do 4 events a year, one in June, July, August, and September. We run one right over here in Big Lake. If y'all know where that is, raise your hand if you know where Big Lake has been out. I'll leave my information when this is done. Feel free, if you would like, to come out and kind of see what it's all about. We get a pontoon boat for all the visitors that want to kind of come watch some of these veterans. It's pretty inspiring to watch. It's very inspiring to watch them get out. And I'll go show you some of these pictures right now. So there's Alyssa right there, and one of our volunteers, Ashley, who Ashley's dad is an Air Force veteran of 20 some years who had a stroke. We put him in one of the chairs that we call the secret weapon. It's actually a chair, a saddle that we hook to the surfboard, and we let them surf behind it. Some guys get pulled. Sometimes it looks like they're doing more of the pulling than that 600 horsepower boat. But what a hoot to watch. Again, doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your ability. We have folks out there that are scared of water, that don't enjoy it, that are out in there trying to help, along with folks that have never swam a day in their life. Again, we've got some Navy veterans that have never swam. I'm like, but you were on the boat, dog. Like, yeah, I don't swim. I'm like, all right, next slide. There he is right there with Alyssa, and look at the smile on Alyssa's face. She's hugging him for dear life. Next slide. Now, there you go, right? So again, he was one of our friends who, again, stroke patient. The rope you'll see is actually hooked to him. So when he falls, it'll break away. But he's actually pulled the whole time. Since he's got no core, he can't really balance himself and stuff like that. But amazing to see him out there enjoying as one of our participants, as you'll see here soon. Next slide. As you'll see, he's got a catheter attached to his leg and he's out there surfing. Are you kidding? Come on, let's go, right? Next slide. Then you got Doc right here. Doc is a below the knee amputee. Doc tried to get up and stand. It just wasn't for him. He just wasn't rocking it. So Alyssa has spent a ton of time teaching us. So there's two sides to Wake for Warriors. You've got the veteran side, which is myself. I'm a United States Marine combat veteran. Served as a reconnaissance Marine with 1st Reconnaissance Battalion out of Camp Pendleton. Did tours both in Afghanistan and in Iraq. Retired. And then you have the other side, which the better side, more glamorous side, which is the civilian side to it, which is Alyssa. And the amount of time and effort that she puts in with her family and everything else, and the focus on us is just above reproach. So I'll give it to Alyssa real quick so she can kind of tell you kind of what she does and kind of all the planning and stuff like that that goes into it.
Thanks, Matt. Hi, my name's Alyssa. I'm part of the lead up here for Wake for Warriors in the Pacific Northwest. Been doing it for 6 years, like Matt said. Started out serving lunch. They needed some help serving lunch, and I said, sure, I can serve lunch, no problem. Well, then we had one of our fellas named Patrick who suffered from a stroke, and he couldn't get up on the board by himself. So they said, let's throw her in the water. So I got in the water and I held Patrick's feet to the board, just a regular surfboard, to help him stand up. And that's kind of where it started. And then as the years went by, I believe 2 years into it, we had the secret weapon made. And we got to go down. That's Patrick. So we just got to participate in the Wake Surf Championships up here. So that was pretty exciting. We had 3 sit-down riders there. So sit-down riders, secret weapon, any kind of ailment, physical ailment or whatnot, the boys get to get in the seat. I'm in the water with them. I balance them. The boat starts to go and they get to go up and go surfing. And so Matt has done the sit-down as well, except he's already progressed and he doesn't need me anymore. So he can get in the water by himself and get up and start surfing and help coach these guys. Doc is fantastic. Doc got to participate this year. First time coming out to Wake for Warriors this year as well. So he progressed really fast. It's super exciting to be able to work with these ladies and gentlemen because they come out, they maybe think that they can't do this. It's not for them. They can stand by and watch, but we highly encourage them to get in the water. We try to make it work with whatever your ailment might be, and it's been very successful. And I think that we have done a lot of good work in the community and trying to get veterans out from all ages, all walks of life, all service, And we've even reached out to active duty now, as well as retired and still enlisted. And we're just trying to grow that community to let them know there's something else out there for them once they're out, or once they're in and maybe in the process of med boards or whatnot, to let them know that we still have stuff available with whatever's going on, and just creating that community. So it's a fun way to do it on the water. And we have other events as well, but the 4 wake surfing events are our main events up here. And we've been up at Big Lake for 5 years now with Jeff Pressmo and Boat Lifts International, and they helped introduce us with you guys. And so thanks for letting us come and kind of tell you what we do. Do we want to have any questions, or we got anything else?
Well, I would say the first thing is for us, like, we just like being held. So like anytime somebody wants to get behind me and give me a hug, I'm down. So the most important piece, at least in my mind, in my heart, as far as veterans concerned, is this piece right here. So this was taken without us knowing. This is my buddy Woody, who lives in Virginia. And again, even though we're a region, we connect all throughout the nation, right? So there's events that go throughout the entire nation. And this was the day Woody and I just had the opportunity to kind of sit and talk, have coffee, and just kind of go over some stuff. And again, what'll happen is we start talking about maybe some shared experiences that we had gone through, some buddies that we miss that are no longer with us, families that we keep in touch with, right? And again, that's one of the biggest things for us is being able to celebrate them in the process, right? And their families. So again, our main purpose here today was to hopefully get the word out and get with the veterans in the community, have them go to our website, which is www.wakeforwarriors.org, okay? And sign up for an event. Get them to sign up. I'll give you my email, my info, if they're nervous and scared about doing it, because it can be overwhelming, right? To try and go out and surf or do whatever. Even if they come and just sit on the boat, even if they come and hang out, it's worth the time. It's worth the connection, I promise you. And I pray you'll notice a change in their demeanor around the house. And again, we've got all kinds. We've got, if you click again, that's just Knucklehead. Click. Hanging out with Tyler. See, look at Woody. Isn't that incredible? Stud. Those shorts are where it's at, though. Next one. Next one. All right. There you go. She's spinal cord injury as well. We also help civilians as well that are also injured in some way, shape, or form. Eric, get ready to surf, my brother. For us, we like to not only, obviously our focus is the veteran community, but we also help the civilian side as well. And this is another one of our veterans. There he is. Look at that face. Come on. My man, Jason, out there getting it on with his, if they don't feel comfortable in the chair, we teach them how to sit down on the board itself and just, basically sit down, surf and things of that nature. So my boy, John, burnt up, like, I think it was 70 to 80% of his total body, had to lose his leg below. Was a pilot in the United States Marine Corps and got wrecked in a crash and busted him up pretty good. But I'll tell you, to see him, what's most amazing to me is that we also do family events where we invite the families to come out, their kids, their wives, and to see them cheer each other on is probably one of the most inspiring things, as if someone with no limbs surfing wasn't inspiring enough. But to see them cheer for each other when they probably don't do that at home, right? And to get mom out and get mom surfing, and the kids are like, we had no idea mom was like athletic, right? At all. And it's just a good time to see them all cheer, and then they leave out of there, and the connections that they take home is kind of what it's all about. So again, if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer any. If you don't, again, I'll leave my information so you can reach out if you'd like, because we would love nothing more than for you to come out, have lunch on us one day when we're out there at Big Lake, and just kind of observe and check it out, right? And if you know any veterans that are interested, please send them our way so we can get them out and get them on the water. Yes, sir.
Is this just in this area, or is this nationwide, or what? How many boats are there? Who owns the boats?
Yeah.
How do you pay for all this?
Absolutely. So for us, A lot of our donors take care of that. So right now we are sponsored by Nautique. Currently right now, Union Marine helps us to kind of find boat drivers. We've had such a great turnout. First of all, we are nationwide, number one. We are the Pacific Northwest region of that. So we handle anything in Washington State, Oregon, Idaho, and we've even can go into like Montana. But right now, it's just Washington State that we kind of handle. We don't really have any other events that we do outside that have lasted. As far as sponsors for us, we have folks from Hyperlight, which is a surf company that takes care of our boards and things of that nature. As far as boat riders and actual boats, we've had such a great turnout from folks in the Pacific Northwest who want to get veterans on their boat. They donate their time, effort, all that stuff. For us, price-wise, per one-day event, it's $250 per veteran as far as gas, food, things of that nature. For a multiple-day event, for us, you're talking about 3 to 4 days, about $1,000 per veteran to participate. As far as sometimes we'll have people in their community willing to open up their homes. Big Lake is that way. They open up their houses to us, the Pressmos and the Vandersandens, and we just have a hoot and we sit by the fire and we get to talk at night. And then we go out and we surf in the morning, the afternoon. And the local business, Big Lake Bar and Grill, and a lot. And out here in Mount Vernon, down the road, there was the Whidbey Island Bagel, who outstanding as far as helping us be able to feed our people and stuff like that. So, did that answer everything, sir? Or come close? So yeah, as far as donations go, absolutely. You know, I mean, it's from the help of everybody that we're able to take the veterans out year after year. But for us, the biggest piece for today was to hopefully come out and get the word spread. Because what we're noticing is a lot of times, like I go to the VA, and at the VA, everyone's miserable, right? I mean, they just sit in the corner. They don't want to be helped. They don't want to do nothing. I tend to be a little bit too much sometimes. So I'll roll up and be like, hey, what's going on? And they're like, get away from me. Like, you know, I don't want to talk. So sometimes, most of the time, if it comes from someone they love and says, hey, you know what? I just happened to hear from somebody today about this organization that, you know, would get on the water. I think it'd be good for you, because I promise you it will be, and they'll benefit. And I think the family will too, right? Like, I think it would help if they paid their own way, or do any of them help pay for their own way? No, not at all. We are. I'm all about charity. Yeah, yeah.
I'm all about charity, but you know, when they have their own skin in the game, maybe they could be even more excited about it. I don't know. It's hard to understand what you guys go through who are wounded and especially the ones that are depressed, how to get them out of their funk. But it's awesome that you're doing that. So.
Yeah. So the biggest thing we battle with right now, and again, I think that's great. And a lot of us, like for me, like I have offered numerous times, like, hey, I'll fly out, I'll do whatever, this, that, and the other piece. A lot of our vendors, like one of our people that sponsors us is GM Marine. Okay. They do a lot with Tunnel to Towers. If you know that organization that builds homes for vets that are injured. I'm one of those. They're building a house for me, which I am super beyond grateful. And the fact is I'm going to be able to be a blessing by being one. A 4-bedroom, 3-bath house that I'm going to be able to help my brothers and sisters. When they're in trouble and they're having a hard time, they can come with me and we'll get them up and we'll get them rocking and get them where they need to be, right? So the biggest part we're dealing with right now, after 20 years of war, is the hardest part right now is we've got brothers and sisters leaving of their own hand that are not understanding how to cope or deal with the things that are going on up in here and in here. The things that they saw, the things that they're trying to cope with. Physically, mentally, right? And I believe it, a lot of it, it's easier for someone like myself that shows it, right? That has these things where someone goes, oh, you kind of went through it, huh? Where I've got brothers and sisters that don't have a physical scar, but it's more in here than anywhere else, right? And again, you've all had some form of trauma at some point in your life. And to have community to back you, right? The first thing we don't want, our goal is we get you to come out, you experience an event, right? And then we give you purpose. Then we put you as part of some of the leadership team or some of the coaching, and we get you to focus your energy and time on other veterans and bringing them up. And again, you know, our cups, just like everybody else's, our vessels are fractured. So sometimes the water doesn't stay in there all the time. All that joy kind of seeps out over a couple weeks or whatever it is. But again, for us, the benefit is those text threads that we have for each other after each event. And what we do is, like, for example, a lot of us, like, as far as flights and things like that, we can also try Space A and things of that nature. Like, especially for myself, it's an option. For some that aren't rated or whatever through the VA, it's not an option. So for us to be able to help them and be like, hey, come on out. Don't worry about, again, just like with everybody else, the prices of everything in the house and what you've got to do for that to give them a weekend or 3 days or whatever it is to come out and not have to worry about buying food, not have to worry about the stress of any of that. And just to travel, come out, spend time with brother and sisters, be able to connect, and then go home, hopefully adding more value than when they left, and being able to bring their families up and not be a drain on everything, right? And add to the stressor. So again, what you got, Mom? One more? Yeah, what's up? You want to go surfing?
Pardon?
You want to go surfing? Let's go.
Oh, I just have a question about earlier. I think I heard you talking about doing something at Baker Lake. Is that what you said?
Big Lake down in right down the road.
Oh, Big Lake. And because I've been sometimes fishing at Baker Lake, and there's a boat that has fishing for warriors or something on it.
Oh yeah, that's another great organization. We have when we're done, if you don't mind, I'd like to talk with you because I'll grab some information, because we do have vets that like to fish and stuff like that. And again, we kind of work hand in hand with some of those where we'll take some of our vets and be like, hey, they like to fish. They would love the opportunity to go out and do that type of thing.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I think we have one more question over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you mentioned it, but when is your next session out at Big Lake? And please tell me that it's at least June or July of next year.
Yeah, so we do a polar plunge out there in January. No, so it's August. August will be, I think it's like the second or third week in August every year. That date kind of changes a little bit, but it's the second or third week in August. And again, if you're willing, we would love to have you come out. Right? For a day. Come on out, hang out in the pontoon boat on the lake. We'll feed you. You can see the vets, kind of get to know them a little bit and just kind of see what we're all about. Right? Again, everyone, you know, I'm super grateful for you allowing us to spend time today to kind of go over what we're all about. And thank you. Thank you for your time.
Well, and as appreciation for you coming today, I have our 4-way test on a keychain. All right. Does anyone have any announcements before we close the meeting? All right. We don't have our usual amazing Rick Limley that always stays very late. Most people don't see how late he actually stays and helps put away the table and chairs. So if you can all help quickly put the tables and chairs away, that would be very much appreciated. Thanks so much.